Hi everybody, this is Jo from Carrier Crystal Healing and the Energetic Shift Group on Facebook. I'm laughing to myself before I even started because this is my take two actually. The energy is a bit jumpy and I've got some cards, Earth Magic Oracle cards by Stephen D. Farmer, and I was shuffling them whilst I was talking when I started the first take and a card jumped out. Crystals, focus, and I think they were telling me to focus because I just really wasn't. I think the full moon energy is getting to me in a good way, but I've had to start again anyway. So I've been meaning to do a video for a while. The energy hasn't really let me. Obviously it had to be done at the right time, and now's the right time. I've been given the time and the energy has given me a push to do it. So I've mentioned a few things in the Energetic Shift Group posts. There are big energies going on at the moment. There are lots of celestial goings on, like planetary aspects and all that kind of stuff, that are helping us. The energy is very, very high. I'm not even going to attempt to go into how many different aspects there are, because there are just so many, but everything is lining up for us as we approach the new moon eclipse on the 26th of December. I originally wanted to do a video for the new moon that has just passed, and that would have given us the lunar cycle from new moon to new moon for the eclipse, but obviously that wasn't meant to be. There was very big energy around that new moon too, with conjunctions around the galactic centre in Sagittarius with Venus and Jupiter. I mentioned that in a previous video. Since that video, Jupiter has moved from Sagittarius into Capricorn, and so for me what this is about, I mean, if you know anything about Jupiter, biggest planet in the solar system, big energy, and actually a very jovial, positive energy that brings in plenty of opportunities, really, really positive. Anything positive, Jupiter is all about that. Now normally Jupiter wouldn't really be classed as being at home in Capricorn because they're kind of opposites. Capricorn's kind of a constrictive, very down to earth energy, whereas Jupiter is expansive and positive, maybe a little bit over optimistic, whereas Capricorn can be a little bit pessimistic perhaps. However, together for me right now, with the energies that are all like combining together, it's really, really good for grounding all of this hard work that we have been doing, where we have been purging, where we have been making all of these changes energetically and starting to look at making these changes physical. This is really supportive energy. Jupiter's going to be in Capricorn for the next year, and there are lots of other things going on in Capricorn over the next year as well. Looking into early 2020, there's big energy with Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn too. So I'm not going to go into loads of detail about that because that's all down the line. What we need to focus on is what's going on right now. Physical changes need to be made in alignment with who you are now. Who you are now is not the same person who started out 2019. Perhaps you've been going through a process for a long period of time like I have, and I know for the last decade, perhaps 12 years for me, I have been consciously changing. Lots and lots of things that needed to be undone. I'm not suggesting there is lots that you need to undo. Certainly not to the extent that I've had to anyway. But we're just not the same people anymore. This energy has supported us in shedding what is not us. Everything that is 3D is not us, so that we can bring forth more of our soul and access that fifth dimensional consciousness. And from that fifth dimensional consciousness, that's when we create the physical reality in that level of consciousness. So we change our physical reality based on kind of our operating program. We were in a 3D operating program before where we didn't really have a lot of control over what was going on. We like to think that we did, but there was a lot of baggage in the background that was controlling our physical reality. We've been purging this unconscious stuff so that we can then consciously create in the physical, and this is what we need to start doing now. Perhaps for some of you, now is not the right time to make big changes. However, you can start thinking and planning what it is that you want. It's time to start to tune into your soul. See what your soul wants for you, because when you align with what your soul wants, that's what brings you ultimate happiness, ultimate abundance. Brings forth that sense of peace and love and tranquility too. And that is what we're here to create. That's why all of these star beings have come here on planet Earth at this time to help to create that on planet Earth, to shift the whole planet. We have to do it first. We are leading the way, and so it's time for you now to step into your power and believe that you can do this, and start to put plans in place, start to take some action. So some of the action that you may need to take might be unraveling certain things in the physical, whether it's unraveling commitments, like relationships, ties with people, ties to certain places, ties to work situations. It could be ties to old beliefs that you've had about yourself or others, or about the way that life is. It's time to start dismantling that. So the purging that you have been doing has all been energetic until now, but this is done more consciously. And from these changes that you consciously make, then you are able to recreate your physical reality in the way that you want to. So this full moon this week, it's on Thursday, happened on 12/12, the 12th of December. Not all around the planet. Sorry, I can't get my words out because the energy is so high. Not all around the planet, but most of the planet. And this is a really, really significant event, I feel, because what it's doing is it's wrapping up the last 6 months of stuff that we have been dealing with. So it's a full moon in Gemini this Thursday, and it wraps up everything that happened in the 6 months since the new moon in Gemini, which would have been about June time. And so we're in a wrapping up stage now, a culmination. You may see the benefit of the work that you have been doing. It might be in subtle ways, but please trust what you're seeing as benefits. Don't discount them, go, oh yeah, it's just my imagination, or it's just a coincidence, because it's not. This is stuff that you have been changing all the way along because of the hard work that you've been doing purging. So we've got this full moon happening on a really important, powerful date. We've got 10 galactic activation portal days in a row again, which again, I've mentioned these before. This is practically unheard of to have this many. We've had it once before, but before that was a few weeks ago, but before that it had never happened before as far as I know. So big energy with that. We've got Jupiter in Capricorn, so there is a lot of energy to support still what we're doing, all of this culmination energy, wrapping up a lot of karmic cycles, really, so that you're free then to create new positive cycles which are not based on that karma. Now, I don't see karma the way that everybody else might, but it's just a word that I'm using that people understand. So we're wrapping up these old energy cycles so that we can create new ones consciously. So this time period now, between now and the eclipse portal, is so important, because everything that you put into place, plan, every intention that you set will help you to shift when it comes to that eclipse portal on the 26th of December. It keeps playing on my mind that I need to do some kind of webinar on the 26th of December. My logical mind goes, no, it's Boxing Day, nobody's going to want to listen. And you should have a rest, it's a holiday. I don't know, we'll see if that comes out. I don't know. It's going to be really important, this new moon eclipse. I don't envisage that we'll see the brand new starts happening immediately from this new moon. But this is where we make the energetic shifts into that 5D timeline. I keep looking at the clock, whether it's the counter on this video or on the time, and I keep seeing 1 and 4 combinations, which is the 144, which is the frequency of 5D, and I just keeps catching my eye. It's like constantly there. So please know that we are doing this. The signs are all around that we are doing this, even though you cannot see it yet. So please trust, please keep going. So yeah, as I was saying, I don't envisage that we'll see brand new starts immediately happening from the 26th of December, but you will be given the opportunity to shift onto a 5D timeline from then. Now, from my own experience that I've been through, I know that I shifted myself and drew down my own 5D timeline at the eclipses in January. So that's coming up for a year for me. And there is still some bits of clearing and healing that I've had to do. So there will still be bits of clearing and everything that we need to do. We're tidying up like years and years, millennia of crap. So it's not going to get over and done with all at once, but we are all working together on it. I'm being asked not to look further than this new moon eclipse because there's so much work. Like, we need to focus on the here and now. There is big stuff coming next year, and you know, that's a carrot to dangle in front of you to keep you going, but you've really got to stay present as much as possible and make the changes you are guided to take. Dismantling, I feel, is going to be quite significant over the next few weeks. Deciding what to dismantle. Perhaps you don't know what you do want to create, but perhaps you have a very good idea about what you are very sick of. You probably have a very good idea about what is not making you happy. That's as good a place to start as any. So wherever you are at, and I do feel like I'm talking to first and second wavers now, wherever you are at, this period of time now is going to be really, really important. So any work that you are guided to do, please do it now. First wavers will be wrapping up those really intense purging cycles. Second wavers, you have all of the purging to come. But please know that a lot of the really dirty, gritty work has been done before you. So things should be a little bit easier than it was for the Mavericks and the first wavers. And we are all here to support and help you energetically and in the group. We are spread out for a reason so that we can target all the real dense areas. But the idea of my group is to bring everybody together so that you know that you're not alone. There are people going through this and people who understand you. Okay, so I'm feeling drawn to get to the cards now. So the first card that fell out was Clouds and Shape-Shifting. This is about you, and I feel it's related to shifting onto those 5D timelines. And it's you shape-shifting into the person who you really are. Dropping the ideas of, like, the physical carcass, the 3D person that you were before, the things that were imposed upon you before. It's time to drop those and be who you really are. You decide. Ask your soul to guide you. You're so much more than what you were programmed to believe. You're so much more powerful, and you can create your own reality. The only thing standing in your way is any of the negative energy or negative beliefs, and it's time to step away from those negative beliefs and that negative energy. so that you can start to create from your soul. If anybody's feeling a little bit stuck with that, that's something that I can help you with, and so you can book in a healing session with me. So I'll put the link in the box below. But there really is nothing to hold you back anymore. Things have been gathering momentum for quite some time now. Okay, there's a couple of cards that wanted to come out. Okay. Oh, lovely. So this one we have is love and compassion. So we are becoming more of our soul selves in this physical reality, which means we are operating more and more from a heart-centered energy. And the heart, from my perspective, is the seat of the soul. So listen to what your heart is telling you and allow your heart to shine. In a lot of senses, physical life for many star beings has meant that they have had to shut down their heart. They've had to barricade it up because it wasn't safe for them to be loving, because the world was so harsh. And that's just not true anymore. We've done so much of the clearing and the healing that it is safe now. We've stepped into our power so much, or we're about to step into our power so much perhaps, that it is safe, and actually it's required. 5D living is all about living from the heart centre, and so it's time to shine that now. And then the other card I've got is Lotus Flower, so unfoldment. And so the lotus flower is often the symbol used for the heart chakra. So we've got a lot of heart-based energy coming through, and what this card is saying is to peel back the layers from your heart slowly but surely. If it feels confronting to do it all at once, do it bit by bit with people that you feel safe with. Open your heart. Let people see who you are as a soul. Let people see the truth about you, what you're really interested in, what makes you happy. Tell people that you trust the way that you want your life to be, the dreams that you have for yourself. So communicating authentically from the heart, being honest with people around you. It can be quite a difficult thing to do, especially when you've been in that pattern of being guarded for such a long time. The more that you go forwards on this journey, the more what I have just said will make sense for you. A lot of people, I feel, and I'm one of them, I didn't fully understand how much I had covered up or barricaded up the truth of who I am. And just recently, actually, I had a big awareness about this. Like, I've been dismantling this stuff for quite some time, and then I actually realised just how much I was holding back. And I didn't realise, like, I've always, since my awakening, I'm becoming very, very weird in quite obvious ways with the things that I can do, talking to angels and working with crystals and talking to star beings and believing in stuff that a lot of people think is crazy. I've always been quite open about that. But in some ways, I wasn't fully opening it up either. It's very hard to explain. It's like there was a lot of subconscious stuff that was blocking it. And so just be aware of that, where this starts to make more and more sense for you. And the last card, I love it. Winter solstice reflection. I am having a workshop in Chester on the 21st of December called Bringing in the Light of the Goddess, which is about revealing the truth of who we are. It is based on divine feminine energy, because I see the shift as to 5D as very feminine energy based, but it's not just for women. But solstice for me is all about the return of the light. If you look at the pagan roots of Christmas, it's all about bringing back the light. And so, yeah, some of you might like to join us on that workshop. But winter solstice is the shortest day and the longest night, so the longest amount of darkness. And then come Christmas Day, it plateaus, and then come Christmas Day, the daylight and the amount of daylight just starts to increase then. So after the plateau, by Christmas Day, the night gets a little bit shorter and the day gets a little bit longer. And so that's what I mean by the return of the light. And that all coincides with this new moon eclipse on the 26th of December. Massive, powerful time. So yeah, the key word reflection. It's all about thinking really carefully from the heart what you want to create. How do you want your life to be? How do you want to be as a person? Do you want to fit in with the rest of society where people may be cruel or greedy or do things just for profit, or, you know, do really immoral things just because they can? And it's become a bit dog eat dog, our world, hasn't it? Where people, you know, are doing horrible stuff because they see people doing horrible stuff, and it's like it's the only way to get ahead. Whereas the shift to 5D is all about coming from the heart and everybody working together for each other. Please don't pay too much attention to what you see being played out in the media or out in the world around you. It can be easy to think, oh, it's not working because look at all this chaos and horribleness that's happening outside. Actually, it's just the stuff being released. So please don't be disheartened. The changes you are making are having a profound difference at an energetic level, and it's only a matter of time before it starts to be seen in the physical. So please keep doing what you're doing. Choose what you want to create and focus on what your heart and soul is telling you. Okay, so I feel like that's everything that I need to say for now. So if you are interested in any of the things that I've mentioned, you can have a look in the description box below on YouTube there. But until the next time, I send you lots of love. Bye.